Hi everybody, I just wanted to say hello. We are going to go ahead and wait just a few more minutes to give more people a chance to join. So we'll be starting in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't want to make any of you take more time, we might still have a few people joining us as we go, but that's perfectly fine. My name is Bianca. I am going to be your trainer today. I have been with HedLux for about 3 years now as the lead national educator. We're going to go over who HedLux is, why airbrush makeup, and we're going to go over some benefits, uses, and advantages of using airbrush makeup over traditional makeup. I have a demonstration that I'm going to do for you on a lovely model, and then we'll go back and we'll do a little bit more talking about the business side. So we're going to talk about the kit info, we're going to talk about earning potential with adding this to your business, and a little bit on suggestions on how to retail and market adding airbrush makeup to your business. Along the way, I will have opportunities for questions and answers. If you do have any questions as we go, please feel free to type it into the chat window, and I will address it once we get there. Otherwise, I did want to let you know at the very end of this, we will be giving away a prize. There will be one full set of enhancers given out to one of the lucky attendees here today. So what these are is the blushes and bronzers and highlighters that come with the HedLux Airbrush Makeup Kit. So it's over a $50 value, and it's a fantastic product. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. So who is HedLux? That is where we are starting today. HedLux has been created by Brooke Bowles and Jeffrey Swartman in 2007. They are out of Boca Raton, Florida. They started as a master distributor of Casio shears and a manufacturer of hot pants cosmetics. So they started selling to the professional beauty distributors nationwide right off the bat. In 2009, HedLux became a master distributor to hundreds of cosmetology schools supplying cosmetology kits and advanced education. And then in 2011, HedLux launched the Airbrush Makeup line. So they've been selling to thousands of kits nationwide to cosmetology and aesthetic schools. Brooke co-authored the Milady Standard makeup textbooks. So the owner of the company who helped develop this product has co-authored the textbook that they use in all esthetician schools all over the country. Also in 2014, HedLux developed their own shear set for salons and cosmetology schools. Last year, they started a distribution center out of Grand Prairie, Texas. Basically what this does is it's more centralized shipping, so it makes it faster for you to get your product. So they've become a contract filler for specializing in aerosols as well. And this year, HedLux is opening a luxury beauty boutique and professional education center in Grand Prairie, Texas. If you guys are ever through the area, I highly suggest you stop by. It's going to be a fantastic place to go learn about all types of things from the industry and see products and get education and have some fun as well. All right, why airbrush makeup? Airbrush makeup is going to be what you want to do in the world of HD technology. So we all know pretty much everything out there today is we're talking cameras, cell phone cameras, video cameras, television, everything's shot in HD. So what this does is sorry, I'm a little stutter today. It emphasizes all of your pores and any imperfections on the skin. So HD gets very close and gets very detailed. And what airbrush does, as opposed to a traditional foundation, is it is placed on the skin in very light droplets instead of being rubbed on. So you're not rubbing it into any type of fine lines and creases. You're not rubbing it and making any streaks. So airbrush makeup is what you want to go for that flawless look for the camera with HD technology, because HD can just be so unforgiving. This is going to be the right way to get the sheer, almost invisible application to make it look like the appearance of perfect skin. The idea behind doing this is that once you've done the application of the foundation, it basically looks like your client is not wearing any makeup. It looks like their natural, perfect skin. And it is very buildable too. You can do a very light layer for sheer coverage, or you can build it up to full coverage. All right, some more benefits of airbrush makeup. This provides flawless, long-wearing, mess-free results. It does not smudge or move once applied. It's very breathable, and I often have my clients tell me that even though I might do 10 to 12 passes of foundation on them, they don't feel like they're wearing anything at all. And from the makeup artist point of view, it's also much faster and cleaner to use airbrush makeup than a traditional foundation. You do not have to, it is cross-contamination free. You're not touching anybody with anything, so you don't have to worry about that. It is much quicker to do the actual application this way, and it is cheaper as well because you're using minimal product to do a larger amount of area. And some uses for airbrush makeup. So, I mean, anything that you guys could think of for makeup, period, that you can use airbrush makeup. So from the everyday look, just wanting to, you know, the everyday woman going out to the store, to TV, fashion, runway, lots of bridal makeup because this is very crease proof. We'll use this for camouflage, you know, covering acne, rosacea, wrinkles, dark circle, hyper and hypopigmentation. It can also be used for paramedical uses. It is safe to use on scars or burns or bruising or anything like that. And it can also be used to help cover up tattoos, birthmarks, varicose veins. It is very helpful there and safe for all of these reasons. And then advantages of using HedLux Premium Airbrush over other airbrush formulas. It is a very easy to use water-based formula which allows the makeup artist to blend away any mistakes. When you're using a silicone-based airbrush, once it goes on the face, it stays, and if a mistake is made, it is virtually impossible to fix without starting over, and that wastes time and product. Water-based formula also hydrates the skin while you're wearing it. It absorbs and provides antioxidants, and it is fragrance-free, so it is gentle on the client's skin. We have a multitude of colors, which I will show you in our demonstration. And the actual compressor, I love the compressor. It is so tiny and lightweight, but yet powerful enough to do everything that I need. It can go in my purse if I'm doing, for some reason, I needed to just go on the run. That's how small it is. Because once you're traveling, you know, on site for a makeup event or, you know, a photo shoot or a bridal party, you have to take a lot of products. So having this lightweight portable device to carry with you to just tuck inside your kit is so much nicer than the large, bulky compressors. It also has 3 different modes, which a lot of compressors just have the one, where we're going to go high for foundation or any type of body work. You could do medium, where we'll use on the cheeks for a little bit of enhancing for blush or bronzer or highlighter. And on the low setting, that's where you're going to cover up any blemishes or do eyes and lips, where something you don't want it to be too powerful. Our airbrush gun also has an output screw to control spray pattern. So I'll show you this in the demo as well, but it is fantastic because what it does is it actually stops you from pulling the trigger back too far. So it controls the amount of product that comes out of the nozzle. And we have a cup to prevent spillage, a cover for the cup, I mean. This is actually huge. It doesn't sound that big of a deal, but I have absolutely spilt a load of foundation in the lap of a bride. Luckily, she wasn't wearing her nice, pretty white bridal robe yet, so it wasn't a big deal. But you never want to do that. 1, it wastes your product, and 2, it's messy, and it gets on your client. So it's very handy to have, and it's the best value to get more applications. Again, you only need a few drops, and you can do so much, whereas traditional foundation, you will need more. And it allows a more 3D effect. I'm going to teach you a specific technique that we use at HedLux, and it allows for a more 3D effect on the face. We also do have a 1-year warranty on all of our products. But honestly, if you ever need anything, just email or call, and they'll be very helpful to take care of you. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch to my demonstration. So I'm going to share my webcam. My lovely model here you will see. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and switch to the webcam. There we go. Before I move forward, does anybody have any questions? You can, I will real quickly, I think I have everybody muted, but I can unmute all. If anybody has any questions, you can speak up or you can type it. I'll give you just a second if anybody wants to type.
Only on these end and wide.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward then. Like I said, if you have any questions moving forward, just type it into the chat and I will get to it once we get back after the demonstration. So give me just one moment. Can everybody see? I'm assuming if you could not see your webcam, please type in. Okay. You can type to me individually too. If you don't want to type to everybody, you can type to just me in the chat. So if everybody can see, we are good to go. Give me one more moment. All right, everybody's good. Thank you, ladies, for letting me know. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Bianca. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our demonstration. My model is Becca. She's here with me from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm going to go over the compressor for you first and the gun. So what I was talking about with the gun is this control output trigger right here. What this does is you have it twisted all the way in, and when you buy your kit, it's going to come twisted all the way in. So be cognizant of that. It doesn't mean it's broken. You just have to twist it out, because otherwise what you can't do is you can't pull the trigger. It does not move. So you have to twist this out, and you can twist it out to a halfway or all the way. Let's say we were covering varicose veins in the legs, you'd want it all the way up because you can use a wider spray then. And the other thing that is this little cup here. Another way, something else to be careful for when you are using the cup is if for some reason you feel like, oh my gosh, it stopped spraying and you think it's clogged, really, there's a tiny little hole, and you can't see it, but there's a tiny hole in this. Just make sure that hole's open. If that hole gets clogged with makeup, then it won't spray, but all you need is like a safety pin or a needle. Just stick it in there and you're good to go. So those are two things that are easy fixes that are, could accidentally happen. So the other part of this is the compressor. So you've got your hose that you connect end to end, and one thing that I didn't mention in the PowerPoint with the compressor is it comes with this little holster, which you might not think is a very big deal, but it's extremely handy to just go like that and put your gun away rather than putting it down on its side or something like that, because you can still have product in there and you're not wasting it. So it holds it upright, which is huge. And it's a tiny little thing, but it's amazing. All right, so we've also got our modes. So you turn on the machine. It's pretty quiet. It's not too bad. And then you've got high, medium, and low. And you've just got a button right here that you push to go all three. But you can see how tiny this is. I mean, it's the size of my hand. So that's what I mean. It can go in your purse. It can go with you on the go. It's super easy and really convenient. And also still very powerful to handle it. So we're going to go ahead with our model. What I have done before this webinar started is I've gone ahead and I've primed my model's skin. You can use your favorite primer for this. We partner with Bodyography, so I have used our Bodyography Mineral Veil Primer, and I've done a little bit of concealing, maybe a little under eye concealer, stuff like that, and I have also primed the eyelids. So you can use all of this under your makeup. One thing that I love about this makeup is, let's just say you get on set and you forgot your gun, you forgot the hose, you forgot something and you can't use it, but you have your product. You can still actually complete your foundation. You can complete your look because this is very versatile. You can use it as a traditional foundation if needed. So it's kind of like a backup plan, which is fantastic for that, oops moment. So I've also already color matched our model today, but the way that you do that, if you haven't done this before, is you take the colors that you think you might need. You kind of guesstimate, like, I know she's not going to be this lightest color, and I know she's not going to be this darkest color, so I'm going to guesstimate in between, and I'm going to see what I think. The more and more you work with the products and the colors and you get comfortable with them, you'll be able to kind of like look at somebody and spot between two colors and figure that out. So by doing that, you take the color, and for this, I'll put it on the back of my hand and just use a little, and you just put it on their jawline, and if it disappears from their cheek to their neck, you know it's the right color. Basically, you can't see it at all. And the reason you want to do the jawline instead of somewhere else or the hand or somewhere else on their face is because A, your hands and your arms are a different color than your face. Because hopefully we're putting sunscreen on our face. And B, you want it to blend in the neck. You don't want to have that line or anything like that, or you just don't want it to be different. With airbrush, you're not going to get a distinct line, which is fantastic, but you just don't want it to be different. So that's why you do the jawline. And you can see our array of colors here. I believe we have 9 different colors back here to choose from, and not everybody is going to fall into, oh, this is the perfect color. So I'm going to teach you how to blend. It is super easy to blend with with the airbrush makeup. So we have primed our model. She's got her hair pulled back out of the way. She has dark hair, so I'm not super worried about it. If you have somebody with light blonde hair or platinum blonde hair, I do suggest you can offer them just, a hair cap thing, like a processing cap or something. But really just use your hand. Use your hand as you go along, because the fact of the matter is, where the hair starts, the space doesn't stop. So you don't want to have a line here. You have to pull the color into the hairline just a little bit. If it gets to where you can see the color, just take a little towel or a paper towel and just rub on it a little bit, and it'll come right off. It just kind of like powders right off. So it's no big deal. But you do want to make sure you're bringing everything into the hairline. So it's just something to be cognizant of with light colored hair. It's the same thing as if you were using a brush with blush or something like that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I have already determined that my model is a mixture of, all of these are numbered, so they go from 15 to 55. So we're going to do a combination of 25 and 30 for her. And you always want to shake these. So you have to shake it. You can hear the little beads in there. You're going to shake it up, make sure it's good and mixed. That's with a water-based formula. You just have to make sure it's good there. So we're going to shake both of these. And I'll turn this off while I'm talking, just so. We're going to put this in here. And I'm going to do about 8 drops of each. Maybe just 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do that. That's it. Perfect. I can put my nozzle right there. I don't have to worry about like putting something in my arm to set it down and do something that's like that kind of awkward. It's very user friendly. And I have to make sure I put my lids back on every time, or I know me and I will drop it or forget it or lose it. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So we've done an equal measure of these two. And again, I tested these out on her prior. All right, so we're going to turn this on. And we're going to take just a standard tissue, a regular old tissue. And I'm going to block the end of this. And I make sure that my trigger output is there, or it won't work. You can feel the product here. I'm going to block the end here, and I'm just going, so I block, you can't see me, sorry, my hands are down. I'm blocking the air output coming out, and I'm pulling the trigger in tiny little dashes. You don't want to pull it straight back because it will all come straight out, but I'm trying to see if you guys can see. Basically, I don't think you can see due to the light. It looks like chocolate milk. It looks like blowing bubbles in your chocolate milk. So that's what you want, because it just mixes it up right there for you. So that kind of helps you to mix it without having to try to get some type of stirring device and not knowing whether or not it's actually mixed properly. The next thing you want to do is just spray a little bit, there we go, onto your tissue to make sure that what's coming out is product and not cleanser, because the last thing I ran through this, and unless you're doing back-to-back models, even if you are, the last thing that you ran through was probably cleanser or water, and they don't need that on their face. It won't hurt them, but they don't need that on their face. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and the technique that I'm going to teach you today is called an ovalesque technique. This is the 3D effect that I was talking about. So what you'll see if you YouTube or anything like that, I'm sure there's other techniques out there, but a very common one are the tiny little circles. So, you know, where you would have tiny little circles going all over her face. You don't want to do that. That provides an uneven application. What we're going to teach you is an ovalesque stroke going up. We're going to start from the jawline and go up on one side. It doesn't matter which side you decide to start on. Maybe it depends on your right-handed or left-handed. And then the other side. And then we're going to go down the middle. Now, when you do the middle, you have to do it a little bit different, and I'll show you. But the ovalesque stroke is really just broad diagonal stroke. So you're going from basically like the chin up and kind of up. And it probably takes about 3 to 4 strokes to get all the way up the face. So I'm going to show without spraying first, because I'm going to go through it really slowly. You always want to have them close their eyes and take your lips and kind of push them together just a little bit like this. So you're covering them. Otherwise, this is a matte finish. And I am going to come back and I'm going to put a little bit of color on her lips later with this, but I don't want it to be the same color as her face. So I do want her to kind of cover her lips. So we're going to have her do that, close her eyes. And I'm going to start here. Again, I'm not spraying. I'm going to start a little bit below because we're blending. You can come back and go, like say it's a strapless dress, you can come back and do all of that, right? So we're going to start here and we're going up in broad ovalesque strokes, right? So it takes me about 3 strokes to get all the way up her face. Since I can't walk around her, or you'd be looking at my back, I'm going to have her turn, and we're going to do the same thing over here, right? So we've just covered the whole face, and if I weren't, going through this step by step for you, it would be 1 second. And then for the middle, we're going to start a little bit below the chin. And this is where circles are acceptable because you just can't oval up the nose, right? And you have to get both sides of the nose. So you kind of do quick circles up the nose, up the chin, and kind of a horseshoe over the nose to get both sides, and then a quick circle up to the forehead. And with this, with the foundation, we're on high, and we want to be about 6 to 8 inches away from the face so that we can get a good broad application. And honestly, like, you can pull this out a little bit as well. It does control how much you have to, watch how you pull the trigger. And one thing to be cognizant of as well is how you hold the gun. You want to hold it like a pencil. You don't want to pull the trigger with your thumb. You don't want to hold it any other way. You want to hold it with thumb, forefinger, and pointer finger on the trigger. So that gives you the right kind of like delicate hold for it, and you're not getting too much force. All right, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to do, about 8 to 10 passes on her, and you'll kind of watch as the coverage builds. So again, it's a matte finish, and it is very buildable. And you can have your model, it is safe for them to breathe if they don't feel comfortable holding their breath. They can hold their breath because it's only for a matter of seconds. Little horseshoe and up. See how quick I did one pass, and I even stopped and talked a little. So if you were doing this for just a real, like you're doing bridal party, you can knock it out real quick. Something to be cognizant of, just like if you were spray tanning or something, is you want to get their ears. Their ears are the same colors, we want to make sure that we are doing everything. So just a little circle on the ears as well. You can do that at the end. You can do it at any time, but I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that part as well. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to do some more. So you've got your ovalesque stroke going up the side of the face. We're going to do the same thing over here. And we're going to go up the middle. And it's super fast and super easy. And if you're ever worried about the hair, again, just bring your hand in, and you can kind of cover that right there. Not a big deal at all. And I mean, again, this is non-transferable. It's smudge-proof, but it comes off with, your regular cleanser, and so you're not going to get anything in the hair or anything anywhere or on the clothes or anything that won't come off. I do carry a cape with me in case they do have on some clothes that they either, don't want to get messed up or anything like that. And look, I'm out. You can tell by the way it sounds when you run out. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more. You can tell, I don't know if you guys could hear it or not, but it goes from kind of like having a sound of a spray bottle to just this. And so you can tell the second it runs out, which is super handy as well, because then your client doesn't sit there and be like, I only feel air, and you're not putting anything on them. So we're going to go ahead and mix a little bit more. Is it the right color? All right. So it's super fast. I could have put more from the beginning, but sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry on wasting product or not. But it's just kind of personal preference how much you want to do. All right. So we're going to mix this back up with the back bubbling. That's what it's called, to do basically the chocolate milk. So we're mixing. We got it good. I just dab on the top so that when I put this on, it doesn't kind of splash me. We're going to do it again, and I'm going to do this one a little bit quicker so you can kind of see how long it generally takes. And if you ever need to breathe, just raise your hand or wiggle or something. We don't want them to pass out. All right, ready? See? Super quick. One quick pass. So I'm going to keep going. And at the end of this, I will move the camera up so you can get a better look. I know it's kind of hard. The light's a little bit harsh and she's kind of far away. But you can see the technique. The ovalesque stroke going up the side of the face. We're going kind of at a diagonal and the middle. Now, one thing that she has expressed her concern to me about is is basically a sunspot. So I'm going to show you how we would be covering that. I'm going to put this on low, and I'm going to put my trigger in a little bit. And I'm going to come in kind of at a side angle, and I'm going to spray just a little bit of the same color. We're using the same foundation color right there. We're just going to minimize that a little bit. All right. So it's kind of like multiversal. You can use the same color to work on acne or if they have spots that they're uncomfortable with, anything like that. So now I'm going to go back out to the high. I'm going to do a little bit more foundation. Look towards me just a little. Thank you. And I know I'm almost out. I can hear it. So I'm just going to keep going until I hear it run out. At this point, this is when I would come back down and I would do the décolleté in the chest area, or if the shoulders were showing. So I would come back down, and you can, this is where circles are also acceptable because there is no diagonal shape to go on the chest area. So we're going to go ahead and end with that for the foundation. Another thing that I love about this product, being water-based, and the actual formula that HedLux has to come up with, is that you can bounce from powder to liquid to powder to liquid. So we use our use your favorite setting powder, translucent powder. We use, again, we partner with Bodyography for this, but you can use your favorite powder. And I'm just going to go in just a little bit and set this. You don't have to do this. It sets itself, and again, it is a matte finish, but I just wanted to show you how you can go back and forth, and it doesn't peel like some products I've seen, where it would peel up on the skin. It doesn't do that. All right, so now what we're going to do is a little contouring on the cheeks. So since I used number 25 and 30 for her foundation, I'm going to leave that in here. I've still got, you know, excess product, and it's even just in the cup. I think you can see it's kind of a little bit brown. It's just what's left in the cup. So I'm going to go, we used 30. I'm going to go to 40, right? And I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to add just a couple of drops. I'm not changing what's in, I'm not cleaning out the foundation that's in there because it's her color. It's the right color. So for some contour color, I'm just going a little bit darker, and I'm going to add some contour for her cheeks and stuff like that. But we're going to blend this in just like we blended the two together. So I'm just doing about 3 drops because we don't need much. And we still have stuff in there. And we're going to blend it. You can kind of hold it a little bit more because it's less product and won't overflow as easy. Put the lid back on so I don't spill it in her lap. All right, now we're going to put it on medium because we're going to do some cheek work. And I'm going to pull this in just a little bit to control my spray. So for contour, it depends on how comfortable you are. When you're just learning, you know, one easy trick is to have them do, I always get a confused fish face. Go like this. A little bit, yeah. All right, so then you can get a little bit closer. You can go 4 to 6 inches. And you want to come in, I'm going to have her turn your head just a little. You're going to come in from the hairline and just kind of do a little C to pull up into the temple. And you're just kind of following that dent that it makes when she does the fish face. Back and forth a little bit. How to do this side. And normally you don't have to have them move their face back and forth, but I don't want to be working and you just see my back. So I'm gonna add a little bit so you can relax your face for me. Just want to make sure we have enough. I didn't add enough the first time. That's my bad. So again, you always just want to come back and mix it, just in case. All right. Well, there goes that. I'm going to be careful not to spill it on her. But for you, I would suggest setting it down and going to get the cup. It just dropped right off. All right, so I'm going to come over here and do that. Yeah. I know she's not getting married today, so we're good. All right. We'll do a little bit more right here to make sure the colors match. And now we're going to contour elsewhere. So you can relax your face. We're going to do, you know, under the chin. It doesn't matter how skinny you are. Everybody could use an elongated neck. So you stay about 4 to 6 inches away. We're just adding a little color here. We're going to do a little contour on the nose. So I'm actually going to go to low. We're going to do a little contour on the forehead as well. We're going to stick with low because I want to get a little bit closer. So it's a subtle change, but that's what we want. We don't want it to be a dramatic, whoa, look at those cheekbones, because that's not supernatural. All right, so what we're going to do now is I do have a little bit of excess product. So I'm going to take my tissue and I'm going to dab it out. I'm not taking the time to fully cleanse the color out. I just don't need that much product left in there. Got my little trash can down here. And I'm going to do some blush color for her now. So we've got a warm and cool blush. We also have a bronzer. So this is our bronzer. It's kind of hard to see the specific color in the webcam. I apologize about that. And then we have warm and cool. So I'm going to do the warm blush on her today. And I'm mixing it straight into this contour color. So whatever I had left in there after I dabbed out the excess, because again, it's the right color. It's a mixture of the right color for her cheeks. If you add a little depth to it, it's not a big deal. So we're going to come back in and we are blending it again with the back bubbling. Blend, 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 blend. All right, I'm going to put it on medium. I've already got this set where I want it. And I'm just going to have her smile. We want to see those pretty little apples on her cheeks. All right, I'm going to turn just a little further. So you're just coming in on those apples and enhancing and bringing it all the way to the hairline, all the way past that ear line. Again, you're about 4 to 6 inches away. Turn from here to here. And all of this is buildable, right? So you can build color on top of color. You can make it more what you want. So I still have some product in there, and what I'm going to do is do a little bit of eye color for her today. So I have her close her eyes. I have put this on low. And one trick I want to show you about the eyes, and you won't be able to see it, but when you get your kit and you practice, try this. So when you're doing the eyes, the skin on the eyes is so thin, you can actually see the air from this, putting a dent in the eyelid. So that's kind of helpful. It kind of gives you a path, because you can get about 2 to 4 inches away. So when you're here, I know you guys can't see it, but it puts a little dent. I can see exactly where it's spraying. So we're aiming for the crease, right, and a little bit below. And what I love about this product, another thing I love, is you can mix it. You can do a whole face in airbrush, or you can mix and match. Sometimes, like for her, we're going to do a whole face in airbrush. We're going to do some lips and some eyes. But when it comes, what I did on myself this morning to show you the difference is a combination. I did the foundation in the cheeks, but the lips and the eyes, I did traditional makeup application. So that kind of shows you a little bit of different options that you have, and how you're not just stuck with one option. You can mix and match and be experimental with it. And it's very versatile. You can keep switching it up and learning new tricks and techniques. I'm going to have you turn just a little for me. And again, we're just coming right over that crease. So I'm just doing a little crease action right there. All right. Now what we're going to do is highlighter. So at this point, I am going to clean out the cup because all of these colors are very bright and dark, and our highlighter is very light. So we have 2 different highlighters. We have this golden highlighter. We have a peach highlighter. I'm going to use the golden highlighter on her today, but I love this peach highlighter. It's a newer one, and it's very spring and summery, very pretty. So to clean it out, you can use warm water, or you can use airbrush cleanser. These bottles, we're going to go over pricing in a minute, but I believe this bottle is $19, something like that, and it will last you forever. I highly suggest getting this because if you do a lot of on-site work, you don't have to leave your client or find a bathroom in between and get some water to clean your gun. So it travels with you. So what I'm going to do first, turn it back on high. I'm just going to spray out what's left in there, whatever might be left in there. I'm going to do the same thing where I dab it out. Just wipe out whatever's in there. Again, it's a clean tissue. And now I'm going to put some cleanser in there. And I'll tell you, as far as maintenance is concerned with these, if you clean it after every time you use it, before you put it away and put it back in your kit, or before you leave, or as soon as you get home, make a habit of cleaning this. It's basically maintenance free at that point because you're getting the product out of the nozzle, out of the needle, and you don't have to take it apart. The manual does have to give you kind of like a play-by-play of what all the parts are and stuff like that. But if you take care of it and clean it every time, which it doesn't take very long. It's taking me a minute right now because I'm talking about it. But otherwise, it is pretty much maintenance free. And it's good to keep your stuff clean anyways. So we just want to make sure the color is out. So what I did was I poured the cleanser in here, and then I just brush it through. I want to see this run clear. That means I've got the product out. So I'm going to finish up what's in there. I don't need to put product on her, or a cleanser on her. I do need to put product, not cleanser. All right, so now I'm going to come back with my golden highlighter, and this doesn't take much. 4 drops, and if I need more, I'll get more. I'm going to put on medium. I'm blending it just in case there's 1 drop of something. All right, and I want to make sure, again, that it's not cleanser that I'm spraying on her. So I want it, can you see that? I want it to spray yellow, and it did. All right, so I'm going to put the highlighter above the blush, so kind of on her cheekbone, and I'm going to do a little bit on the eyes as well. So you can just relax with me for a moment. I've got it on medium for the cheeks. We're going to do a little touch on the forehead, touch on the chin. All right, I'm going to put on low, and I'm going to do her eye highlighting. So we're going to come in, and we're going to do right here in her waterline, and then we're going to do her brow bone. I'm sorry, not waterline, tear duct. So you've got it on low, and you want to barely pull the trigger back because this is powerful on your eyes. And then for the eyebrow, kind of come in like we did for the blemish, a little to the side, so that you're not spraying straight and having too much product. Very pretty. Look at that. All right, so the last but not least, we're going to do some lips. So for the lips, I want to use my Cool blush. You could use any of the colors, whatever colors, suits you that day. I'm going to just dab out whatever extra I have because the highlighter will just add some nice, pretty, and we'll clean ones. We'll add some nice, pretty shimmer to it. So we're going to do just a couple drops. It doesn't take much for the lips at all because you don't want to overdo those. I've still got it on high, so I'm going to mix just in case. It takes a second to mix, and it's always worth it. And putting it on low now. So for the mouth, I want to have her kind of, it depends on how their mouth is set. If they have a very inset mouth, then you want to do the duck face a little bit. Have her push it out a little bit, but she's good. You're good. So have her, make sure she keeps her mouth shut. We don't want that little part because you don't want to risk getting it in her mouth. But again, you're doing this to the side, to an angle, so you're not spraying directly in their mouth because that's uncomfortable. All right, so we're just going to come in a little bit, and we're just adding a little bit of color. You come to the other side, to do that side. I'm kind of multitasking it here so that, again, you guys don't see my back. Okay, we have a little bit of shimmer there, very pretty. And again, want to clean it out. Normally, I would keep talking and do this after, but I want you to see how important it is. We're cleaning this and how to do it and make it super easy. You just want to spray out what's in there and clean it again. Super quick, super easy, and it makes your investment a real investment. It makes it not, you don't have any, much less worries if you maintain and take good care of it. So you just use your tissue and you clean it out the same way that we did. So now the only last step I'm going to take, and I don't have to do this, again, I just want to show you how we can go back and forth. I'm going to set it. It sets itself. It's matte, but a little extra. It's personal preference. What you want to do. We're just going to set with a little bit. I'm not going to go over her eyes or lips. I'm just doing a little bit of invisible powder. So there we go. We have finished our look today. So we went over the oval stroke. I taught you all about the gun and the compressor. We did the foundation, the contour, the blush, we did the eyes and lips. The only thing we didn't go over is bronzer, and that's just all personal preference. It's not the beginning of the summer. She's not going to the beach, so I'm not doing that for her today. But with that, you treat it very much like blush, and you just put the bronzer where you want it, depending on if you're doing something more detail or more of the face. You do medium or low, and you just have fun with it, and you make it a beautiful occasion for your client. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the camera up. So I'm going to step out, and I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer to her so that you can see the application a little bit better, and then we'll switch back to the screen share, and I'll go over the earning potential and then some marketing and retail and the kit deals, and we'll pick a winner, okay? All right, one moment, I'm going to step around and get this. Smile for me, Becca. All right, I'm going to scoot this a little bit closer. Yeah, stuff's falling, and you see my window. There we go. lean forward for me just a little bit so you guys can see the application a little bit. Close your eyes. See just a little both sides and twist for me, just a little. Very pretty. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the screen share and we'll keep learning. One moment for me. All right, let me get this going. All right, so everybody should be able to see the PowerPoint again. Perfect. I'm going to real quick check to see if I have any questions. All right, so I do have some questions. I'm going to go over these before we move forward so that I make sure I address everything. And I'm just going to start from the top for anything that... All right, so I've had a question about primer used before applying the makeup with the airbrush. So we've already gone over this. Absolutely. Primer is going to help every single application. So it can totally be used without primer, but as a professional makeup artist, you know, it's going to be even better. It's just my personal opinion that, you know, you can't go wrong with a little primer. Well, for the eyes and the face. This is a very good question. I meant to go over this. So can you do this to yourself? Absolutely. I do it to myself all the time, and I highly suggest when you get your kit that you practice on yourself because it makes a huge difference where you can feel where the product's going on yourself so you know what it's like to be the client. That's huge. And I have a lot of clients that tell me it feels so super relaxing. Nobody's pushing on them. You know, sometimes with the brushes, we can get a little aggressive, right, because you're trying to hurry. But with the airbrush, you hurry, and it's just a nice, gentle application. So, yes, absolutely try this on yourself all the time. What other questions that we have? Do tears make the airbrush smear? So, yes and no. Normal tears, if your client just blocks them with a tissue, you know, like weddings. We do this all the time for weddings. Assuming that your client doesn't take their hand and smash their face like a child, wiping their eyes with their fists or something, you're good to go. You know, it's all about how they wipe up the tears. It's not necessarily going to smear down their face like the running mascara on soap operas, but it all depends on how they wipe it. So normal, gentle tearing up, a wedding, a funeral, something like that, totally not going to bother anything. It's all about how your client wipes their eyes. You can't control if they take their face and just rub their fingers down it. Again, it's not, you know, this isn't a tattoo. It does come off with soap and water, your everyday cleanser, but it's not going to smear just by a little bit of, you know, rain or tear or something like that. And, question about the eyebrows. So that's a good question. You can absolutely fill in the eyebrows with this. I do suggest you use the foundation color, and I would suggest getting some stencils if you need to. It's very helpful to use stencils. My personal preference is to use such a little bit of more traditional makeup for the eyebrows because I feel like it looks a little bit more natural to do something along those lines. But it all depends on the look you're going for and all of that. But stencils are great for that, and you just want to generally go towards the darker colors of the foundation. All right, those are all of our questions so far. If you have any more, please feel free to type them in. All right, so next we're going to talk about the kit deal. So what you've seen today is what we've got in our kit. So we've got the Student Starter Airbrush Makeup Kit, where you get the compressor, the hose, the gun with the cap. It obviously comes with a power cord. You get these, they kind of look like tiny mascara ones, but they are for cleaning the gun. You can see those on the screen. You get 5 of the foundations. You get the manual. You get the bodyography primer that we used today and the translucent finishing powder. So you get all of that we talked about. It's a $199 price. Regular price, I believe, is $250. If you're with a school, you'll need to reach out to HedLux directly by emailing orders@hedlux.com, HEDLUX. So that's how you can kind of get a little bit more information on this. If you did want to extend and get the enhancers, which are bronzers, blush, all of that, those are $18.99 each. And the airbrush cleanser, like I said, $18.99 each foundation as well. They are very, they will last you forever. And we'll go over how many applications you can do with the full kit here in a moment and how much money you can make from it. But you've seen how little product I use, and it is, you know, super economical, put it that way. You are not going to necessarily just run out of anything right away. It lasts for a long time. So let's see. I think we've covered everything here. If you have any questions, please let me know. But we're going to keep going. You get the 5 most popular colors, and again, most people with this kit, most people don't fall into just one. So you get the colors that are most blendable and mixable together to suit every skin tone. All right, here's the earning potential I talked about. So the average number of applications that you can do per 1 ounce bottle is about 40 to 50 depending on how much you use. The average number of applications per full kit with the foundations, all of them, is about 200 to 250. So if you are charging, the national average for this is about $50 to $75. So basically take what you normally would charge for makeup application, and you upcharge about $25 for airbrush because it is a specialty. That gives you, a new price, so you're just adding to it. It actually uses less product and less time, so you are adding to your revenue and not taking away from anything. So you're making about $50 to $75 an application, depending on where you're at and how you decide to price. The total potential revenue from the kit is approximately, $18,750. So this is on top of all additional services that you do. If you have any, the normal application time on just a standard, even problematic skin, about 10 to 20 minutes. So it's super fast, much faster than traditional makeup. And if you get certified and you do this 2 services a day at $75 on top of everything else that you do, so you're doing this in less than 1 hour of what you're making, and you add this on top of traditional services and tips and everything else, that's an additional $36,000 you could be making a year. So, let's say you already make X and you add this on top of it. That sounds amazing to me. But so it's just kind of showing you how versatile the kit is and how far it can take you, because it will last for a very long time. And it will be able to help you gain revenue as well. So the products, I have a question over here about the expiration date for the products. They do have a shelf life, and I believe the shelf life is about, don't quote me on this, I would want to give it to my president because it's skipping my mind right now, so I apologize. But it is something that Brooke with HedLux, if we email, when you're emailing about the kit to orders@HedLux, about 6 months or more, they do last. I will absolutely get back with you on that and let you know, for sure. All right, so the next thing we're going to go over is how to retail the actual product. So retailing to get your customers to buy the kit themselves. You can offer 1 free makeup lesson with the purchase of a kit. So, that's a $50 value, and it's actually very beneficial because you want your customer to take the product home, and that client is using it properly and not having any issues, and you want them to be out on the street and demonstrating what your products look like the right way. So teaching them how to use it actually helps your business as well, because you've got, a walking model out there, as well as, it's building word of mouth. This, my esthetician, my cosmetologist took the time to teach me how to use this product for free when I add. So, I mean, it's a great offer there. You could also offer free applications after a cut or color to introduce the service. If you've washed the hair and messed up the foundation around the hair line, it's an easy way to kind of be like, hey, let me show you this. So it's kind of how you get your clients that you already have into this new product. So the compressor and gun, we suggest you sell that at $199.99, but the price for you is $119, which is a huge uptick. And again, with the foundations, we already went over those are $18.99. Foundations, blushes, and cleanser. But you can retail those for up to $29.99. So it's a huge benefit there financially. And we do recommend keep about 2 of each product in stock, just so that if you do have anybody that purchases, you have a little back item there. All right. Other ways to market airbrush. So we've just got a couple fun little ideas of things you can do in your salon on this slide and the next. You could do monthly evening makeup demos where you pick a theme. A lot of times, like we just had, I know we've got all sorts of holidays coming up, but we just had Halloween. You could pick a Halloween look. Everybody likes, you know, henna or the something sugar skull, or you could do something to kind of show that, or you could do fall looks, spring looks. You know, all you have to do is pick up a magazine, Glamour or Elle, and look up, you know, fall trends, spring trends, and see what's the new and hip out there, and you know, kind of teach on that each year. School yourself and teach on that. Do Valentine's looks or New Year, New You. So just kind of having a theme for the night and doing the free makeup and demo. Where you could teach them how to combine stuff. So specific ideas, like everybody wants to know how to do a cat eye or a smoky eye, and contouring and highlight is huge. It's all over Instagram right now. So you could do a combination of airbrush with those and teach that to get people in the door. And we always suggest, you know, with these events, kind of make it a free event and focus on brand recognition and awareness and booking, you know, services. So give them a discount if they book something for the future from coming to your event. All of these are just ideas of ways to get the juices flowing of how to kind of get it out there, but it could be super, you know, fun and beneficial. Some more ideas, and I'm sure we've all seen stuff like this, but, you know, martinis and makeovers, mimosas and makeovers. My favorite would be margaritas and makeovers, but everybody has their preference. Where you use the salon on a Sunday, or if you're closed on Monday, you know, sometimes where it's not busy, and offer, you know, have this event and offer for free, but have a minimal fee, offer the makeup and everything for free with a tiny, well, I guess I had this backwards, minimal fee for offering the makeup and stuff like that with free drinks and nibbles. So you have fruits and snacks and finger foods and, you know, like mimosas or makeovers, and then just charge a very small fee to have them come in, you know, minimal, 20 bucks, something like that, just to get their foot in the door and kind of get some recognition. Makeover Mondays, again, a time where the salon is closed, or spa, and you have little different stations. I actually love this one. And so if you do nails and massage and everything else, have a chair massage set up, have mini makeovers, mini nail or manicures. And again, a small fee where you have free drinks and snacks. Mimosas are always great to have around for these type of things. And just have them get to know your salon. They go around and they might get a style over here, or their nails done over here, or, you know, a little bit of makeup touch up over here, and they just get to know what you offer. And this other one, you could do any photo shoot. I know we've got a boudoir shoot on here, but you can really do anything. Use one of your rooms that is big enough. You will have to charge a larger fee for this, but you'll want a private room, maybe an esthetician room or a massage room or something where you can close the doors. And you have the clients bring their own props and clothes and everything, but they get their hair and makeup done in your salon, which gives them kind of like all a one-stop shop. It's like a fun day for them. You could do, you know, senior pictures. You could do anything like that. Even like engagement photo shoots, stuff like that, where you could, you know, I know a lot of women who have these engagement photo shoots and their husband won't admit it, but they wore a little bit of makeup to make them look smooth and pretty. So, I mean, you could always do something like that where it'd be fun and get more events going on in your area. And if there's something like this, you would definitely want to do some complimentary wine, especially if you're doing the boudoir shoot. That always helps. And the, you know, just research pricing in your area for what is fair and what is the market trend. All right, so this concludes everything that we've gone over. I know that I had set the training for an hour and a half, but I wanted to make sure we had time for any additional questions or anything like that. So what we've done today is we have talked about who HedLux is and why airbrush makeup, period. We've talked about the uses and benefits and advantages. We showed you a demo on our beautiful model, Becca. We've gone over all of our kit information, so you guys know how to get in touch. So if you do have any questions about the kit or prices or discounts or anything like that, please email orders@hedlux.com. We talked about earning potential and some ideas on how to retail and market. So I wanted to see if anybody, I'm going to unmute you guys, and you can type or you can talk. I want to see if anybody has any additional questions. I don't see any additional questions in the if you would like a copy of the PowerPoint, I believe so. Actually, when you get indicate your manual has a lot of good information, but if you email orders@HedLux, I'm sure they can provide something for you, absolutely. All right, I'm going to let you guys decide if you want to type me any questions, and Becca and I are going to choose a winner for our prize. Give me one moment here. All right, Becca, we have 15 lovely ladies on with us. Oh, and some gentlemen. Pick a number between 1 and 15.
14.
About 14. Well, 15 just left, so Yasmin, you are a winner. There you go. Yasmin, if you could, actually, I have your email address. We will be in touch with you. And we will get their address so that we can send this to you.
No, for me, girl.
Let's see.
It's a Snickers. And the 3 Musketeers.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and no worries for the additional questions. All good. So there. Thank you guys so much. Are there any more questions? Anybody? You know how to reach us if you do. If you have any additional questions, please email orders@HedLux. If it's something business related, Brooke and her staff on site will be able to help you absolutely. If it's more around makeup and the application, she will get you in touch with me. I believe you guys all have my email address through the registration process, so you can absolutely hit me up if you have any questions. And Yasmin, we will be in touch with you to get your address and get that over to you. All right, we're going to go ahead and end the session now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad that I got to work with you guys today and share a little bit of HedLux. And please go ahead and email if you have any questions. Thanks so much.
You bringing it to? You bring it too? No, I brought one. I was leaving right there.